guys. So today I'm going to be doing something totally different. I'm going to be talking about different clients that I've had over the years, and today I'm going to share one specific story. So every now and then I think it would be fun to kind of just share crazy client stories. There are, clients that over the years you come in contact with and they stand out. And so I have a huge list of different stories that, you kind of shake your head and go, oh my God, they live amongst us. But, it is what it is. In the service industry, you kind of have to learn how to deal with different personalities, and that's fine. I love dealing with it. I have 99% of my clients are good friends. I love them and I love going to work. And I always say that I feel like I am hanging out with girlfriends and, I'm not really working. Anyway, I am gonna share this specific story, and hopefully you guys will get a kick out of it. So here we go. Okay, so anyways, this client, she calls the salon and she says she's getting married on Saturday. It's like Wednesday, okay? And that her hairstylist has disappeared or something. I mean, I can only imagine that the hairstylist that she was dealing with probably fired her, but who knows? She was really frantic, totally understandable for a bride. And I said, of course, we will help you, don't worry. She's like, I need to get my extensions done. I need to get everything handled from here to Saturday. I said, you need to come in like now so we can make sure that everything is, that everything is in stock, that we can get you handled, and don't worry, we will take care of you, don't worry. So she ends up coming in, and oh my God, she was, first of all, like all over the place. She said that she was referred by a celebrity to my salon, which, okay, you guys, side note, it's hysterical. She said Gina Keogh. I don't know if any of you guys know who Gina Keogh is, but she is a former housewife of Orange County from like 10 years ago. And she isn't, I don't think, a celebrity, but I don't even know Gina Keogh. She's never been to my salon and she's not my client. So for her to have referred Gina Keogh, or Gina Keogh to have referred her, is kind of hysterical to me. But I thought, well, great. Thanks so much, Gina Keogh, for referring her. We got it done. And so I said, okay, come in tomorrow. We're going to go ahead and do your extensions. And then she wanted her hair also done for the wedding at the hotel that she was getting married at. So I said, no problem. We have a stylist that specializes in updos and hairstyling for brides. We will have her sent over to the hotel and she will be able to take care of you, and you'll be fine. So her and her daughters and her husband's daughters and whatnot. So she goes on to tell us that she and her husband, or her future husband, were having so many problems because the children, stepchildren, they didn't like her at all. And that they hated her, and that they, were really upset that their father had moved on so quickly. It's a kind of side note. The father had lost his wife 2 years prior, and she, I guess, had been sick with cancer for like 5 years. And so it was a really sad situation for, I'm sure, everybody involved with him and his family. But this lady was going on saying how she wishes that his kids would just get over it already, and that why their dad is happy, and that, why can't they just get over their mom dying already? It's already been 2 years. That was a red flag. I was like, okay, their mother died and you're telling them to get over it faster, and that their dad, the mom and dad been married for like 25 years or something. Okay, so this is the first red flag. I'm like, okay, she's a little cuckoo, but let's keep going. So then she says, I just got divorced, and my fiance swore to me that he was going to take care of me. So I have to get down the aisle, because if I don't get down the aisle, I am not going to be financially secure. So I just need to get down the aisle. And once I get down the aisle, I'll be fine. I'm like going, oh my God, this poor guy. Like, he has no idea this woman is talking, basically it doesn't have anything to do with I'm in love with him, I can't wait to marry him. It's about the financial, which is just hysterical to me. But Anyway, okay, so then she's going on about how this guy promised that he was going to take care of her, and I guess he has a business, and his partners in the business were like insisting that he get a prenuptial agreement, which totally makes sense because it needs to protect his business. But she insisted that she did not want a prenuptial agreement, that she would not she would not marry him with a prenuptial agreement, and that was it. And so she was stomping her feet the whole way. So I do her, that was the consultation, okay? She's sharing all this to me during the consultation. So she comes in the following day for the extensions, the actual application. And this is where she's like crying when she comes in. And of course, I'm sympathetic, like, it's okay, we will take care of you. I mean, just calm down, you're just nervous, you have a wedding, and I totally get it, but just, it's okay. She's like, oh, I just can't, I don't think he wants to marry me. And I mean, just going on, and I'm going, oh my God, this lady is literally crazy, but okay, let's just get her in the chair and get her done, okay? And she tells me, he's sitting outside right now in his truck. And I'm like, oh yeah, I see him. And I could see outside the window that he was sitting in his car talking to somebody on the phone. So I tell her, I was like, oh, there he is. I can see him. He's sitting, but he's sitting talking on the phone. She's like, he's probably talking to his friends that are trying to convince him not to marry me. And I'm like, okay, this is just like totally off rocker, man. This is like, I mean, this lady's effing nuts. And it's really sad that this guy, I don't know that he knows this side of her. I mean, he must, right? So then she says, I tell her, oh, he can't see in here because the windows are tinted. So, from the outside of my salon, it's like you cannot tell what's going on because we want the privacy. And she says, oh shit, what a waste of my tears. And I mean, that was her response to me because she was basically putting on a show for him to think that she was really upset. Oh my God. Okay, you guys, I swear. Are people that evil? That's so sad. Like all I was thinking was this poor sap sitting outside has no idea what he's getting suckered into. Anyway, I digress. Okay. She then gets her hair done, looks amazing, it's all fabulous. She calls him up and says, I'm ready. And so she walks outside, I see they're hugging and everything seems to be working out okay. And I'm like, oh, thank God, okay. So Saturday comes around, it's the wedding day. My stylist that I sent over there has a huge box of items. I mean, that's what she does, is on location, bridal updos and things like that. And so, I mean, I see her, she leaves, she rushes over to the hotel. She said, I'm kind of nervous. I have a feeling that this is going to be a very drama situation. I said, well, I do too, just hang in there. She agreed to the price. She put the deposit down. We're done, we're good. Well, she comes, my stylist sends me pictures. She said it was a hot mess, that when she got over there, that the two stepdaughters, I guess, wanted nothing to do with this wedding situation. They showed up coming from the beach. They hadn't even taken a shower. Their hair was all dirty and she's trying to work with this hair. And the bride, the nutball, was, just all over the board and just treating everybody like she was a celebrity. And she was like, do you know who I know? My friend is Gina Keogh. And I'm like, oh my God. Okay, I'm like, why? She's like so hell-bent on like, using that name as her celebrity connection. I don't know, but it was like, okay, so my stylist is kind of like, this is just, overboard. This is, she was really nervous, like, this lady's crazy. I don't know, what to do, but okay. She gets it done, sends me pictures, everything looks great. She's like, it was really, drama. Everything was so chaotic. Nobody was even there. She had nobody there except for her daughter, and like these two stepdaughters. And, she just got her stuff and got out of there. Well, come to realize one of my receptionists accidentally did not charge her for the deposit. So she was short a couple $100. Her balance was a couple $100 because they didn't ring through the deposit properly. And I thought, you know what, don't worry about it. I don't want to give her a hard time. She just got married. We'll call and leave her a message, but you know what, when she comes back in for her maintenance, we'll go ahead and talk to her then. If she doesn't get back to me, what can we do? So then I wait, a couple months. She never called back. Of course, I didn't expect that she would. You know, when somebody has a bill, usually they're gonna kind of put you on the back burner, but you know, I mean, it happens. It was, you know, a mistake. And anyway, so she comes back in finally 3 months later for her tightening of her extensions. And so one of my girls comes in the back and says, hey, you know, it's the bride. So she says, hey, it's that bride. If you want, I'm like, oh, I know exactly who that is. And so then she says, I said, would you mind going and telling her that there was an error in her account? She does have a balance from last appointment, and let her know that, you know, she could pay that today. So she comes back and she says, oh, she says she's not gonna pay it. And I was like, okay, I'll go out and deal with it. So I come out and I'm like, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? How did the wedding go? Da, 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 da. Everything was great, all honky-dory. And so then I said, well, I don't know if you realize, but you did have a balance. I said, and you had, you know, I mean, they didn't ring through the deposit properly, so you have this balance. And so, you know, she goes on to say that she was so unhappy that the stylist that went on location didn't bring a curling iron, didn't bring bobby pins, didn't have anything that worked. And I said, that's really bizarre. I said, gosh, I really wish you would have called me more than 3 months before, you know, like 3 months before. I didn't realize it was that, you know, we're that unhappy. I saw the pictures, everything seemed to look great. And I saw her leave with everything you can think of taking for a on location updo. So I'm a little confused, you know, and she said, well, she had to borrow bobby pins from the people at the hotel, and I'm like, borrow bobby pins? So I brought my stylist over and I thought, hey, come on over, let's kind of chit chat about what exactly happened. And she says, no, I left them in the car and then I went and got them and I came right back with my bobby pins and everything was working fine. I don't understand, you know, I mean, the lady tipped her like $100 and whatnot. So then she starts to go on as how it was so expensive and that her friend would have charged her half the cost. And I'm looking at her like, well, I kind of don't understand, like, why did you agree to the price? I said, you know, you agreed to a price. This is what we all talked about it. You were very aware of the price before you went. And this is what we charge for on location stylings, you know, I mean, it's like 40 minutes away and I lose a stylist for the entire day. That's, you know, I mean, it's going to be more expensive for someone to go on location. And she says, well, I don't care. I'm not going to pay that, you know, and I said, well, my one thing I'm confused about is why you didn't call me right when it happened. She's like, I've just been so busy. I said, so you're now 3 months later coming and telling me that you're just not going to pay and just decided today to share this information with me? And so she says, well, I've been busy and better, and she starts getting rude and she says,
so you're gonna pick your stylist over your client?
And I, you know, because the fact that I knew how kind of cuckoo she was, I thought, you know what? This is probably going to be a client that is going to be constant drama. So I then said, you know, kind of thought about it and I thought, you know what? Yes, I am going to go ahead and pick my stylist over you. You agreed to a price. I understand that your friend may have done it for a less expensive price. Had you gone with your friend, I totally would have understood. But you agreed to our prices and I'm sorry. This is, you know, what our prices are. So, you know, anyway, so she says, oh, well, very good to know. And we had already taken her extensions out. So we gave her the hair in a bag and I said, here you go. Good luck to you. Sorry, there's something, piece of lint or something in my face. So I said, you know, I totally understand. Here you go. Wish you nothing but the best. Good luck to you. She's like, very good to know. Thank you so much. She grabs her little bag and without her hair on, she looks like this little, like, you know, bald little lady that, you know, walked out with just this little like wimpy hair. You know, I mean, hot mess again. Anyway, I knew she was gonna write a bad review. I just knew. I mean, it's like, listen, that's your experience. You're entitled to your opinion, totally fine. So she goes and writes, like, people who have this kind of time just crack me up, but she goes and writes this review that is like, you know, 2 pages long. I mean, it's like ridiculous. She goes on and saying how she's referred by a celebrity and that she can't believe that, and that the stylist will never remain there. And she was just going on, just ripping everything apart. but which I find hysterical because this woman left like so happy, hugging and kissing and doing everything because she thought she looked amazing, and her pictures from her wedding day, she looked amazing. And to top it off, she tips her $100. Somebody who's really happy is not going to be tipping, you know, the stylist who came. But she went on and on and on and on. So I just responded to the text, to the review, and I just said, you know, there's two sides to every story. You know, unfortunately we chose to end our relationship with this client. We wish her nothing but the best and whatnot. So then we start noticing fake reviews are coming on saying the exact same thing. And the craziest part about this is, you guys, okay, that there are pictures of like Nene Leakes as the person of the, you know, the person who's like writing the review, or like there's a person who looks like they're blind and like they're wearing like this t-shirt, like don't even have extensions, would never wear extensions. So there's another one, and they're just all writing these like random reviews, like they don't even like really apply, like they was just making up something, you know. And you know, it could be haters, but I just suspect that they were so close in proximity to what this lady did that it was actually her creating fake accounts and, you know, trying to, you know, write reviews again. So then she goes and writes another review on her, you know, page. And so I contacted Yelp. I'm like, you can't continue to review somebody over and over and over. I mean, it doesn't work like that. You can give your one review about your service and that's it. So about, I don't know, a year later, she writes another review, and she writes, this one's hysterical. She writes, I went in, because I know I'm not accepted at that salon, I went in under a fake name. Oh my God, like nobody in the salon's gonna recognize her, right? She went under a fake name and it still got the same service, and that she bought a brush and it broke. I'm like, what the heck is wrong with this lady? Like, she is so funny. So finally I sent her a private message and said, you know, it's just, you really need to kind of get a life and stop focusing on something that happened a year ago. You know, you had your bad experience, but now making up stories saying that you went under a fake name and tried to, you know, try to write another review is just ridiculous, because I mean, as you can see by our other reviews, we pride ourselves on customer service. That's, oh, I bend over backwards to make people happy. And I'm just like, what, you know, this is hysterical. This lady is clearly missing something upstairs and has no life. So anyway, as of now, I will keep you guys updated, but as of now, I haven't heard anything back. I blocked her from even contacting me, and I'm hoping that she blocks me and that we just, no communication. But you know, we will call her Terry for the privacy's sake, but her name, I will not divulge her whole name, but her poor husband, I mean, this guy has no idea. I'm sure he does. I mean, I can't imagine that he doesn't know that she's crazy. But I feel like sometimes men, when they're lonely, will kind of just settle for anything, you know, and they will settle for what's there and what's available. And this woman, I think, was just kind of there at a time he needed her, clearly, and I feel bad for him, really bad. I mean, it sounds like a really nice man who was just really gullible and got a woman who came in, and she's unfortunately going to take him for all he's got, according to what she said, that he was, you know, supposed to be taking care of her, and she was going to assure that that was going to happen. So that's one of my crazy client stories. I hope you guys understand what hairstylists go through. We deal with stuff like that kind of all the time, but that's one specifically that I think was comical. It was, you know, I mean, like I said, we kind of learn how to deal with all personalities, and you know, there are going to be people over the time of being a stylist that you just can't make happy, and I just kind of let them know, hey, I understand if you need to go somewhere else, but you know, I really want to make you happy, I want to keep your business and that kind of stuff. But I mean, sometimes you just gotta cut the cord and go, yeah, bye-bye. I will see you guys again soon, and leave me any comments below. Like this one if you did, and I have so many stories, it's not even funny, of hairstylist nightmares that I will share with you from time to time. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again next week. Bye.